Filmmakers, actors, and corporate leaders are coming together to raise awareness of social change through film. Coming up next on Prime, how Filmmatters hopes to make a difference in the world. Prime starts now. Hi, I'm Emily Hargrove and welcome to Prime. So I am with a very special guest today who is one of the leading female filmmakers in Dallas. She is known for making movies with a mission, so much so that she helped co-found the Filmmatters Symposium, which is taking place on November 3rd at the Hilton Anatole in Dallas. Melina McKinnon is here with us today to tell us all about this very important symposium. Hi, Melina.
Hi, Emily.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
So tell us, Filmmatters is about raising social awareness through film. Tell me how it all came about.
Well, my background as a filmmaker, I'm a working filmmaker, but also spent 12 years in film festivals, producing over 15 festivals around the country. And 2 years ago, in 2011, we were working with Stephen Nemeth and Susan Thompson, two colleagues as well. Susan is a media consultant, and Stephen is hopefully soon to be an Oscar-nominated producer. And we were talking about what opportunities there might be in the local film festival community to really have engaging discussions with people that were working in film or using film to promote social change. So we concepted Filmmatters, and it started in 2011.
And so this is the second.
This is the second
one to hit Dallas.
Yes.
And so you have got, I mean, literally people coming in from around the world.
Yes, we have people coming from all over the world, from as far away as the UK and as close as Oklahoma. And we work really hard to program both 50% filmmakers and 50% non-filmmakers, but people that are using film in the advancement of their mission.
And I think one of the things that's different this year than there was last year is that this year has a very specific focus. It's human rights with a focus on the global clean water crisis. Is that right?
Yes, and we felt that that was really timely. Well, human rights we really did want to focus on. Dallas actually has a very active human rights community with the leading with the SMU Embry Human Rights Program. We're only one of five universities in the country to have an undergraduate undergraduate degree program in human rights. So
that would
water,
be a great degree to do.
Yeah, it would be fun. So water, with Texas being in a drought, really seemed to be an appropriate conversation to have, because it's not only affecting us here in Dallas, but it's affecting people all over the world. And so,
and in terms of water, there is one of the Water for Foundation. They're coming in to talk about the work that they're doing across the world.
Yes, and they're actually a great example of Filmmatters, because we're bringing in the executive director of the nonprofit,
right,
and Chris Cotner, and we're also bringing in a director of a film that was made to show what Water for is doing. So they'll be speaking on two separate panels, and they'll really help engage the audience on how a nonprofit or somebody with a mission can use film to really get that out there.
And so actually we'll take a quick look at a clip from the film that Derek Watson has, I think they've finished it now, haven't they?
They have. They submitted to Sundance.
They have, fingers crossed.
Yes, so they'll know at Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow. So, well, so the clip that we're going to see is just a short clip from the film, This Is Normal. So let's go and let's take a quick look.
Yala tupela kuna yena ubumi kwipikile vyakulya nga wacho oluchelo ndaya kuchishima mukutapa amenshi uko tulekonkelela nakulepa 4 kilometers.
The clip goes on to tell us about the problem that they're having in so many areas across the world, and then the solutions that they're coming up with for Water for. So how did you find them? I mean, how did they get involved?
Actually, Water for, the great thing about programming Filmmatters is the access and being able to have dialogue with potential panelists. And you call up a panelist and ask them, and they say, oh, you should call somebody else, and you should call somebody else. And so Todd Burns, who is one of our panelists with Empower, he's in our third panel, he said, there's this great charity in Oklahoma that was started by this amazing man, and you should call them and see if he would want to be on your panel. So we called them, and they referred us to the actual nonprofit and to Derek and to Chris. And so so it was actually through one of our panelists that we found Water for.
Well, it's inspiring. Just looking at the clips there, it's inspirational what they're doing.
It is.
And there are so many now with so many water organizations, the Charity Water and what they're doing. And it really is truly wonderful. So to be able to put that on a pedestal here it's so important.
It is, and it'll be a great dialogue. The panel is created so that the symposium's created, if you come to all three panels, you really get a well-rounded perspective of what, why, and how you can use film to bring your message to a global audience.
So let's go through them then. So the what is. Tell me about the what.
Well, in the what, we're going to discuss what are you making. So, we start actually with the why. Why?
Oh, right.
And the moderator of that panel is Bridget McConville, who's coming from the UK. And she actually works for the White Ribbon Alliance for Fetal and Maternal Health. And you can't deliver a baby if you don't have access to clean water. And so you saw in this clip, people are walking 4 kilometers or more a day just to get access to water. So why have the dialogue in the first place is the first panel. And then the second panel is what are you making? And we're going to have a variety of different filmmakers. We have Allison Elwood, who produced Enron, the smartest guys in the room. So we have a variety of different filmmakers there, and we're going to be discussing, exactly what are you making? Are you making a narrative feature? Are you making a documentary? Is it a short? Is it a feature-length film? And then the last panel is how. How do you build an audience? And in that particular panel, we're going to have a discussion about who is your audience. And in the first panel, Dr. Rick Halpern from the SMU Human Rights Program will talk about how he uses film in his classroom to teach about human rights issues, because filmmakers are telling these stories better than a book can. And so if you come to all three panels, you'll get this sort of full-rounded dialogue of how each panel sort of leads back into the next.
Well, that's wonderful. And people identify with film. It visually takes them into the problem and the solution, and they can identify with it more so than with books a lot of the time.
Absolutely, and the variety of people that are going to be on our panels as well. We have Corinne Brinkerhoff, who wrote for The Good Wife. She was nominated for an Emmy for a human rights theme. She wrote into The Good Wife. She is currently writing for a show called Elementary. We also have Paul Lazarus, who went from directing Melrose Place and Everybody Loves Raymond to directing a water documentary on Dean Kamen. So.
Wow. So are they all going to be on the same panel together, or are they on different ones?
Paul and Corinne are on the same panel, yes.
Right. Gosh, it's going to be enlightening for everybody.
Yes, it's really exciting to have the opportunity to bring We have 2 amazing sponsors, the Arthur E. Benjamin Foundation, who made it possible, and then the Hilton Anatole Hotel, which is a very green hotel, is our host hotel, and they've been incredibly generous. So.
Yeah, these things, you can never do them alone.
No.
So it takes an army to put something like this on.
Absolutely.
And so the whole day is going to get kicked off with a very special brunch.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
The brunch is our VIP kickoff event. And VIP mostly because of who's in attendance as our guests. And we have Larry Hagman.
Yay, we love Larry.
We do love Larry. Bridget McConville from the White Ribbon Alliance. And it's a conversation with Michael Caine, the founding artistic director of the Dallas International Film Festival and the director of the Stark documentary.
Yep.
And so Larry has the largest privately owned solar panel home in the country. And Bridget works with in third world countries with fetal and maternal health, and they've found that if you can have constant energy supply via solar, you have a much greater likelihood of having safe and live births. So Michael is going to have a conversation with the 2 of them about why solar is so important and how how Larry has used his celebrity to bring awareness to the need for solar around the world. And Bridget's going to talk about how she uses film to educate people about solar energy.
How interesting. So after watching that, I'll probably be hot-footing at home and changing my panels on the roof to solar panels.
Yeah, and in Texas, it's a great place to have solar panels.
Well, it is. Yeah, it really is. So Larry Hagman and Bridget McConville and Michael Caine, that's going to be a good one.
Yes.
To see. And how can people get involved?
Well, people can we use social media, and they can go to the Filmmatters page on Facebook and like us, and they can message us from there.
Right.
Or they can email us at filmmatters@m3filmsllc.com. And those are the two best ways to get a hold of us.
And then the brunch is $75?
Brunch is $75, and that includes the 3 panels.
Right.
And if you just come to the panel symposium, it's $10 for all 3.
$10. I mean, that works out to be, $3.33.
Yeah. Well, it's the price of a movie ticket. Yeah. It's the price of a movie ticket, and obviously you get more bang for your buck if you come to the first one. But if you can only come to the third, then
So anybody that has any interest in making socially aware film or the environment, just period, this is a place for them
Absolutely.
to be. So
Absolutely.
for you personally, what would you say is one of your favorite films that has made a difference in the world? That's probably a hard question.
I'll do a recent movie that made a difference in the world, and that was actually Searching for Sugar Man, which is a documentary that just came out. I'm from South Africa originally, and the film is all set in South Africa, and it does a really nice job of pulling back the curtain on apartheid.
Oh, yeah.
And sharing and exposing how this musician just sort of fell off the scene, and everybody in South Africa thought he had died. And they thought that because they had no access to the outside world because of apartheid. And so his reputation blew up because of inability to access information. And so when you see the film today and you realize how fortunate we are to be here and have open communication, I'd say recently that would have been one of my favorites.
Well, I would know and we're so fortunate just, with that, having open communication today, and with having, yes, Texas is in a drought, but we have running water. And actually the days that I saw those clips, we had, water was off in the house for 2 days, and we were tearing our hair out, and I stopped for a moment and thought, hold on a minute, this is ridiculous. 2 days, that's it.
Yeah.
So we are incredibly, incredibly fortunate. Well, Melina, thank you so much. I wish you all the luck in the world for the symposium, and may it be such a huge success that you will then take it around the country and it will go everywhere.
Thank you. That's
Melina,
the goal.
thank you. So everybody, you need to go to Facebook and type in Filmmatters 2012 and come and join us November 3rd at the Hilton Anatole. We will see you then. We'll be right back.